We had a few days of nice warm weather, and it's not cold yet today, but goodness, did that wind blow last night. I didn't look at the meter to see if we tagged any high limits, but the wind was crazy. I'm just a little bit late putting hay, and I'm sure that wind will blow across that mic. But Albia, she will let you know right away. She is an aggressive eater, and she's a magician. All those other cows tucked right in. Albia, she said, I'll climb out of there every time. Every time. If you wait just a little bit too long for that cow, and I see that her sister is out also. She's a year younger, 2 years younger. She's also squirmed her way into a little place. That line, now some might say, well, you'd be aggravated because she's out all the time. But she's an aggressive eater. She's healthier than anybody else. She's going to find a way to eat. The other cows look okay. Those girls look great. So I need to do my job better to keep them in. So now I got to go trick the other cows away so that I can figure out a way to get her in. It won't be that difficult. But I wasn't planning on coming out here first. It's still real windy, so we'll have to take shelter when we're talking today and get away from that wind coming across that mic. But I got other things. First thing in the morning, got to gather up all the grandbabies, and maybe I drug my feet a little bit. I knew, she's got juice. She must have either with the electric flashing on and off, maybe something happened. But Obia and her sister, her half sister, 26's babies. They are prime eating machines. 26, Bia and her second calf, primo stuff. They're aggressive and they go after it. The wind's shaking you around a little bit. I'm gonna throw some hay into them and try to get Obia tricked into getting back in there. I don't know how much I got on camera because the camera got all pushed down by the wind, and it's just a gentle breeze right now, but hopefully the hay clinging to the fence right there is still whipping. I don't know if it got anything. When I was tossing it in the air, the wind was carrying it 20-30 feet away. But boy. Another year and another set of lessons. So I keep revising my hay game, and we will do better about getting these things placed in the field prior to cold weather and snow. We don't have any snow right now, and the temperatures are dropping again for another system coming through the first week or two of January. But I should have had these all out through there. It would have saved me a ton of work. That was the idea, was to have these bales out. The pigs were supposed to be gone, and have these bales spread around where I could just take my poly wire and put the cows to them. Needless to say, I failed on that regard. If I'd have had those bales spread out, it'd have been a lot easier to feed them than taking them apart or rolling them. So, a little more planning, and a little better. I mean, look at her though. She's an aggressive eater. She's got that small stature. She's not real tall. She's not real leggy. And of course her condition's down a little bit because she's got a calf in her and it's winter time, but she's an aggressive eater. She's out looking for any kind of grass she can find. And if I don't get her hay just right on time, she's out the door. So she keeps me on my toes. So this is my fault. This isn't her fault. She ain't gonna win no beauty pageants. I mean, but she's a good finishing girl, and I hope she has a steer calf, a bull calf, so we can see what he does and see how he performs. Both of 26's calves, just look really, really phenomenal. And I'm just gonna keep that bloodline going. We wanted those Herefords because we kind of were hung up on Herefords, but man, I'll tell you what, those girls are nice looking calves. They just what we want. They just finish out on grass right. Let's get her back in. All right, girl. Let's go. Man, that's a beautiful sun kicking up there. Again, we got that roaring Mountaindale wind, that winter wind kicking over top of those trees. Just below the top of the knob, top of the hill, is the tree line, and that wind just clips the top of those trees. There were trees down all over the place. We didn't lose power. I don't even know if ours flashed, but other people did. But this is the, talking about the hay and everything else, this is the kind of thing about, here we are wintertime, and I'm doing work that I should have done in the fair weather. And it's just that dragging of our feet, sometimes feel guilty. I've often shared with you about feeling guilty about it. And I guess I somehow feel guilty about it now, but it is what it is. I can't go back and fix that, but maybe maybe that'll be a New Year's resolution. It kind of already is. I mean, every year I make a little headway. I spent 20 years of letting this place kind of fall apart, working, doing everything away from the home, and everything got out of hand. So now we got Madison was working on cleaning up the greenhouse. You saw that the other day. I'll share some pictures of that. But just trying to get everything cleaned up and get ready. I mean, I always get excited this time of year. We get this little winter thaw and get out and do some things, all these plans, and I need to stick with that. And I think we all should just set a plan. Justin Rhodes talks about, and I don't know if he come up with it, but that 1% every day, just get a little bit better every day. And I often lose sight of that, but just going to get a little bit done. Just taking a little bite today, a little bit more. Should have had the hay out. I didn't, so here I am. We've got hay in the barn, so I'm going to have to get a machine or something to get that hay out of the barn. But just look at these chickens. Let these chickens run around, and Dot doesn't seem to be bothering them too much. But I'll show you my chicken coop. I started building my chicken coop in that building out there. We thought about going, mobile, but the snow is just so unpredictable here. We just never know, are we going to get snow? So a polywire, if we get a foot or 2 feet of snow or drifting snow, polywire is not going to be any good. It's just going to drag it down. So we need a little more permanent situation. You girls never let me get that close, really, so here you are coming right to me. Heard me talking, thought I had something for you. She almost figured out where she's supposed to go. She'll see her girls and she'll head off. There she goes. I said, what y'all got up there? I see there's old 26. Same stature as her daughter Bea. Short, meaty stature, finished well on grass. And look at Helen. I mean, she's got that small stature, but she just doesn't carry that meat the same way. She hasn't performed as well on grass as 26 and Bea. And here's 26's last daughter from this year. And I weaned them too early. So that's a little bit on me, but she's outperforming the other calves by double. So she's 26. I hope her daughters carry those genetics through. Finish well on grass. The Herefords look good. Just a little bonier. We talked about some before she's in her, I'm sure, is playing havoc on the camera. So we better just back off. Just what kind of goals are we going to have in 2025? For me, just on the short side, I think I want to be more on purpose with my days, spiritually and physically, mentally, be more on purpose. Spend more time dedicated to prayer and study for sure. And I just think sometimes we just get defeated when we don't get started. Like I've got things in the morning, I just haven't been able to come past it yet. But we got the grandkids that I pick up in the morning, or they get delivered in the mornings, and then that's right at 7 o'clock. And I've always just been traditionally someone who started at 7 o'clock. So I guess I need to get in my mind that is starting, but that lull first thing in the morning creates in me just this melancholy that makes it more difficult for me to go do the other chores. So I need, especially as the daylight gets better, I need to get out and get started right away, first thing in the morning. Get started 5:30, 6 o'clock, which then would require me to go to bed earlier, which is another thing that both Melissa and I need to work on is getting more sleep and going to bed earlier. Stop peddling around, watching nonsense on television, or playing on our phones, or finding any distraction. I think I have a FOMO, a fear of missing out. I don't really know what her. Well, she's got a low iron situation, so she might have some insomnia driven by that, and maybe they'll get that corrected here soon. But either way, more sleep, more direction, and just feel better about the things that I accomplish. And I gained a lot of that in 2023 and in 2024, and I hope to take another step in that in 2025 and just feel a little better. I'm looking at my chicken brooder it's full of junk right now because it's off season, so we just got a bunch of trash in it that needs to be hauled away, but that'll be cleaned out. That was an accomplishment because our old situation kind of failed us. We were getting predators and rats and things that we were losing a lot of birds in our old situation. We didn't lose a single bird in that deal right there with the wire mesh on top. You can look at previous videos and see that. But we didn't lose a single bird in that. And that corrected the whole thing. Of course, Dottie is out here running around, keeping things at bay. So as much as she irritates me when she's barking sometimes, she's a good barn protector. Here's a stupid little silly thing I'd like to correct in 2025. I'm not going to get to it in 2024. There's only one day left. But instead of running my insulated wire out to feed my fence, I've been running, this situation. And every time I come through here, I duck under it so I don't have to unhook it every time. And the closer you get to 50, the less ducking you want to do, especially you got some pounds on you. Not so interested in getting low or jumping too high. Just a girl and her chickens right there. Just a girl and her chickens. That's a chicken lovin'est baby since I ain't never seen.
Maddie.
Well, I threw the pictures in earlier. Wasn't sure I'd get out here to show this, but there's still some work to do. But those kids did a lot of work. Maddie said they didn't get anything done, but they got a lot done. A couple old bucks. I guess we're zoomed in. No wonder things didn't look quite right. But they made, you'll see it better this way, maybe. You remember before I was standing here and this was all junked up, and you'll see in the pictures there too, but they got a good bit of it cleaned up. So we're on our way to getting our little greenhouse back up again. So I think those kids should be proud of the work they did. And we built this thing in like 2013, and we abandoned it 5-6 years ago, and trying to just reclaim it. We got to come up with a good heat source, but they did a good bit of work in here getting it cleaned up. So got a little more mess back there to get cleaned up. Got to get my dump trailer going, but I wasn't sure I'd be in here today. But I gotta find my stirring stick. There's my stirring stick. I've been wetting down the mash for the hogs to give them a little, make sure they're getting some moisture, because it's hard to keep their water to them. But here we are. Just one of those days. Just, you could easily be overcome and just feel like this is all pointless, but there's still some things got to be done. It's not in the order that maybe I want them to be, but here we are. Let's do it. Well, we got a couple of bales of hay left in that road up there, and then we need to move these cows and calves onto somewhere else. This pen's not so bad, but that pen over there is starting to get a little manured up. If we could get some, if I could roll some down here, maybe I'll work on that, get something down here on this end. But really, as these pigs get out of here, and this looks like a mess, but this is actually pretty nice, actually, because out there on that wood line where it's not getting a lot of morning sun, and even in the summertime when the sun's still high in the sky, it still gets it doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight, let's put it that way. So it's a little moister over there, a little more mossy ground over there. So I wanted them to till this up pretty good. I wanted to bale graze this, so maybe after the first of the year, we'll get some hay down in this little pasture here. These pigs are gone at the end of January, so we'll move the cows on up here and get some hay in this field. That's the hope. That's the hopeful plan. That's my New Year's resolution, so to speak, is to get the hay scattered around into these places. Let the cows work this down. I should really do something more with it, but we'll just get this seeded in real good, try to reclaim some of this from the pigs. And they're in here longer than I wanted. December the 30th, 2024. Probably the last, what we call pretty day, beautiful day for a while. It's supposed to get real cold here for the next couple weeks. Towards the end of this week, we still got a couple days where it's going to be dropping down, but this is probably the last decent day for a while. And what a day it was. Didn't get to work in the manner that I thought. If I looked at my to-do list, I had some other things on my to-do list, but just wasn't able to get to those. Tomorrow, New Year's Eve, still things need to be done, but Not typically a hard working day for me. A lot of other people too, I think. Got some football games coming on later that day and on New Year's Day. So we'll get what we can get done tomorrow. We have to make some preparations for the next few days. So I'll do a lot of that in the morning. For today, though, we just got everybody fed and kept the home fires burning, so to speak. Hey, I love y'all. Have a good day.